All right, just about ready to head out on a canoe trip here in the Hiawatha National Forest, Indian River area. And yeah, I'm just a little surprised at how many cars are here. I'm kind of worried about finding a place to camp tonight, but hey, I came all this way. We'll see what happens. But yeah, looking forward to being out. The weather is gorgeous today. Trying out my new packs for the first time, and looking forward to see how they work on this trip. And yeah, well, I'm gonna get out in the canoe. The two packs front and back, they really sit in the canoe nice. And yeah, looking forward to getting out on the water. All right, I'm on the water, and I've got a stiff headwind, not terrible, but yeah, it's a bit stiff here. But yeah, I can see the island site is occupied, so there's two islands out here. One has an established campsite, and the other is not an established campsite. I don't know if they closed it or if it's allowed to camp there, just what the deal is, but I guess we're going to find out. Well, as far as I could tell, there are no campsites available on the island, which really kind of sucks. But yeah, if there's a couple other people there, I really wouldn't want to be there anyway, I guess. But I'm just really surprised that there's so many people here. I don't get it. I mean, fishing season isn't even open yet, so I kind of figured I'd keep most of the people away, but no, I guess I might have been able to snag a site if I got here earlier in the day, but I wasn't able to, so that is what it is. So I'm gonna head over to a site along the shore on the east side that Wi-Fi stayed at. My backpack didn't here on one of those spots, so we'll see if anybody's there. If somebody's there, not really sure. Not really sure what my options are going to be from there, but I guess we'll find out. Got to get across this lake. Okay, so here's the campsite that I ended up with. Again, this is the one that I stayed at with my wife here. We backpacked in on Bruno's Run and stayed at this site. Not sure where I'm gonna set the tent yet. Maybe right there. It's got the same fire ring, but yeah, one thing I do remember about this site is it had a really nice sunset, and I suspect we'll have that tonight too. So yeah, black flies are out, so yeah, here we are. All right, the tent's all set up, and just need to blow up my sleeping pad and get my sleeping bag laid out and all the stuff in the tent ready for sleeping tonight. So it didn't take too long. All right, I got the tarp hung. There's a chance of rain tomorrow afternoon, so I figured might as well get that done now. It's not the best hang I've ever done, but yeah, utilized what trees I had to work with, so that's done. Well, good morning, and yeah, it got down to the low 40s last night. Not too bad. Um, Had a good night's sleep, and the first order of business this morning is to get some coffee going. On the menu for breakfast this morning is pancakes and maple syrup, real maple syrup. Actually helped tap the trees that made this maple syrup, so I know it's good. Well, they ain't pretty, but they're gonna taste good. All right, I'm heading up into the Indian River now. I'm going to be paddling upstream right here at the confluence of Indian River and Fish Lake. There really isn't much of any current yet, but I know from past experience that'll change here in a bit. But it's nothing too radical. I should be able to paddle upstream just fine. All right, now we're in the river proper. Excuse me. Pretty shallow. I switched over to a straight shot paddle, so I have a little bit more control. But yay, it's no big deal. Northwind Solo is doing great. Okay, we're in a little section here that widens out, and before it gets into Bar Lake, it'll narrow back down into a flowing river again. But this stretch through here is when I first came out into this open water, there was just loads of ducks and geese. Of course, I've scared them all off now. Used to be an eagle's nest down at the end of this years ago. So we'll see if it's still there. Oh, I just hooked into a little pike here. Not too big, but it was fun getting him in the boat. Okay, entering into Bar Lake now. Looks like way across there, I know you can't see it on the GoPro, but looks like there's some swans over there. Okay. Well, I'd say Bar Lake is probably about a 30-40 acre lake. Not huge by any means. Well, I pulled over at a campsite at the mouth of the Indian River coming into Bar Lake. There's canoe campsites along the way in the Indian River. So I just pulled off here to stretch my legs and finish up my morning coffee. So yeah, it's a nice little campsite. I might check this one out next time, come here and camp. But the only concern I have is to come all the way here and then it's occupied, and then I have to paddle all the way back to find something around Fish Lake or somewhere else. I'm not sure where else I would camp, but yeah, a nice little spot to have my morning coffee. So I hooked into another small pike. Ooh, he's been bit by something. You gotta get the needle nose pliers. Okay, so I'm at Widewaters campground now. The campground is closed. It doesn't open till, I believe, May 15th. But it's just a really nice spot to stop and have my lunch. It's a little early for lunch. It's around 11:30, but yeah, it's a good spot to pull out, and there's a place to sit. So I'll eat now, and yeah, when you're on canoe trip, you can do things on your own schedule, and you can do things whenever you want, basically. So there is no set time for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So yeah, I'm gonna have some lunch now and hopefully escape these bugs, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll show you around. It's got a really nice spot. Here's over there is one of the campsites. This would be a nice one to get. It's a drive-in campground, but still pretty darn nice. But it's got some benches here. And yeah, I'm gonna sit on that bench and have my lunch. So yeah, it's gotten a little breezy. Actually, it's gotten really breezy, but I'll have a tailwind on the way back, and then I'm gonna hug the shoreline. So hopefully it'll be okay. So yeah, time for lunch. Good old PB&J on some naan bread. I think the naan bread is really a good item to bring along. You can store it easily. It keeps quite well, and you can use it for sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly, wraps, whatever you want to use it for. But yeah, good old PB&J. Duck. Okay, we got some wind to deal with. This ought to be interesting. To get over along the shore and see if that Well, I was going to go out for an evening paddle, but it looks like some rain is making its way over. It's supposed to get rain this evening, and yeah, I figured I better batten down the hatches and stay put for this evening, and instead of getting out there and getting caught in some rain or worse yet, a thunderstorm. So yeah, bummer, but yeah, I'm all set. Canoe's flipped over, everything's tied down, and it's the way it goes sometimes. So we'll see what happens, I guess. Sometimes it ends up being worse, and sometimes it doesn't even pan out. So I guess we'll see. Well, of course, as soon as I get a fire going, it starts to rain. So I'm under the tarp, and we'll just sit it out. It's about, that's going on 6, so this may be a long, boring evening, but yeah, this isn't too bad right now. We'll see what happens. If it turns into a thunderstorm later, it could get exciting. Well, good morning. Switched to a different camera here. If you see a difference in quality, had to charge my GoPro. So anyway, last night we did get some pretty decent rain here for a while, and then the winds kicked up, but it wasn't too bad. And this morning it's cold. It's in the upper 30s right now and damp, and but it's nice. Blue sky, sunny morning. So I'm just had my breakfast, and I'm just getting things around to get ready to take tent down and get packed away and head back. So yeah, a very beautiful morning, and looking forward to spending a little more time on the water this morning. All right, the canoe's loaded and I'm ready to roll. Started to get a little windy. I'm kind of in a little protected cove here, but I think the wind shifted out of the north, so I'm going to have a headwind on the way back, but I don't have too far to go and it should be fine. So ready to head out. Oh yeah, there's a bit of a chop today coming out of the north. It's chilly. Nothing to lose sleep over though. But yeah, what a contrast between yesterday. The wind shifted, got that rain overnight, and now it's chilly. All right, well, that's gonna wrap this up. Nothing left to do but load up and drive home. So it was a good trip. Yeah, I didn't get the camping spot that I wanted, but that's the way it works out sometimes. I found myself a nice quiet spot out of the way, and that actually went really well. So yeah, I had a great time, and yeah, looking forward to some more upcoming trips. Thank you for following along, and if you like this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you enjoy this type of content. Thanks again. And that's a wrap.